So, our master says that you have to drop all the desires, but at the same time, we have to desire the real self. So, what is the difference between the desire to know the real self and the desire to seek peace and happiness from the objects and from the world? Desire, desire to have money. Money is outside. I have to make an effort and then I earn money. But desire to know the real self is my inside. So I have to start contemplating and reflecting on that real self. I need not to make any effort. I have to reach to your home, that is a desire. So I have to cover a distance, I have to drive a car or take a flight. But desire to know the real self is within me. I have to simply close my eyes and find out if I am the body or not. If I am not the body, go further. If I am not the mind, go deeper. If I am not the intellect, go deeper. So here a directed one pointed approach through my thoughts and contemplation. I lie down on the bed and I start thinking, let me have $1 million. It will not work because the $1 million is outside. I have to make an effort, I have to make a project, I have to make a plan. So people mistake it, why they in fact are not able to digest that. That desire for anything in the world needs an effort. We need to make an effort. But so effort are the two types. Effort outside in the world is required to earn what I do not have now. That is the second issue. I do not have $1 million, so I make a project and I start working on it, I make an effort and then I get it. But when I say desire to know the real self, it is already there within me. It is already at hand. I have to remove the ignorance. I have to remove the wrong notion. The majority of the people who enter into this journey of the Eastern wisdom are not fully aware that, let me find out myself. So you have to just close your eyes and go within. Become an observer. Find out if you are the body or not, if you are the mind or not, if you are an intellect or not. That helps you. So desire to know the real self and the desire to get anything from the world. Second thing, I desire to be happy by having $1 million, a house, and a clothes, but they are the means. They are not the goal. And that is why everyone knows the money cannot buy happiness. So God says that you have a right to earn money, but I have kept my right to give you peace and happiness by the money. It depends on me. You have a right to marry, but the harmony lies with me. Harmony lies with me. Whether I give you harmony in that relationship, that depends on me. You may buy a luxurious bed that costing $5,000, but the sleep, I have a right, whether I give you the right sleep or not. You see that you have great, you have 5 kids, and all kids look Wonderful, but, but harmony lies with me. Whether I keep that harmonious relationship with all the kids or not, that is with me. Do whatever you want to do. So when I use the word God, it has to do with the real self, it has to do with the consciousness. Why? Intellect, we have a free intellect, we have a free will. And if we do not make a right choice based on the principles, then we cannot be happy even if we have millions of dollars, if we have 5 houses or 10 cars, if we have we can marry Mr. India or Miss India, it doesn't work. So the Eastern wisdom bridges the gap of that ignorance, that not knowing where peace and happiness are located. Peace and happiness are located within all of us. It is not located in the means, it is not located in the car, it is not located in the dollar, it is not located in the house, it is not located in the luxurious bed. Look at. Then, no, I intellectually understand, but it doesn't happen that way. Yes, we understand it intellectually, but that knowledge is not retained for a longer time and not realized. And that is why when we are frustrated from the world, then we say, okay, I recently had a couple home whose daughter I have been mentoring for the last almost 2-3 years. And now her parents divorced. Now he started talking to me and he said, I have I have everything and I live my life beautifully, and then recently I divorced and I get more frustration, and I started thinking that there is something else where the peace and happiness lies. I was thinking after divorce that is there any need for a divorce or is there any need for a myth? So when we start thinking like this, then we can come to the Eastern West. But if I marry and divorce, I marry to be happy and I divorce to be happy. And then he was saying that now, within a month, after divorce, within a month, you have a new girlfriend now. You have now that new girlfriend has suffering from serious psychological disorder. But I don't recognize I am already suffering from also a mental disorder. So the two people are meeting together. They both suffer from the psychological disorder. And they are searching peace and happiness. This is what happens in our life. And we don't pay attention to it. So having understood this part, the master says that find out. You desire peace and happiness from a person, from an event, from an object, from the world outside? Yes. So if you desire, there is a desirer in you. Because without the desirer, you cannot desire. So one thing is clear, that the object of desire is a girl or a boy, object of desire is a money, object of desire is a house, object of desire maybe anything outside. That is clear. And then you have a desire to be happy by securing that object of desire. That is also clear. But the third thing is not clear. Who is the desirer in you? So that desirer in us suffers from the identity crisis. We do not know who we are. And that is why we desire to marry to be happy, we desire to divorce to be happy, we desire to remarry to be happy. And the journey continues. We become 80, 90 years old, and then we say, I have lot of things to do in my life. I have still to live in that state of the peace and calmness. Because we don't know who is the desirer. Why? Why I say that? Desirers in the first place married a girl or a boy to be happy, and now in the second instant there is a desirer who divorced to be happy. Find out, are these two desirers, are these two people inside you, are same or different? If they are same, then you are suffering from identity crisis. Why you love someone at one time and why you hate someone at other time? So if the two people are inside, so you are already in conflict. We don't resolve that conflict. We don't resolve that conflict, and we blame others. We blame others. Oh, you have been my soulmate, and now you are my soulmate. So enough is enough. No, the problem is not outside. The problem is inside me. Problem is with the desirer. The problem is with that person inside who married, who divorced, or who thought that the money can buy happiness. I had $1 million, but now I'm still unhappy. The first desirer says, if you have $1 million, you'll be happy. Now the second desirer says, I already have it. Third desirer says, I'm not happy. So we are suffering from identity crisis. What is that identity crisis? I'm not able to make it clear, who am I? What are my priorities in my life? What exactly I'm seeking in my life? And then our journey starts again. We get frustrated and we said, okay, let us marry again. So when I told the same thing to this gentleman, I could see his face, he got upset because he claimed that he is very intelligent. People normally think that they are very intelligent. That is why they fight with others. That is why they say that, no, I'm more intelligent than you. So where lies the problem? So our master slowly, gently says, it is your mind that is dictating our intellect. Because the mind is impulsive, mind is mind is impulsive, mind is habitual, mind has a strong preferences of likes and dislikes over what is right and good. I know that you can make it easily understand. You can understand it easily. One thing is what is right and good, and one thing, the mind always perceives the world with the strong likes and dislikes, joy and the sorrow, pain and the pleasure, hatred and the jealousy. So I hate someone because he or she does not meet my expectations. Who can meet your expectation in the world? No, no one. Why you are having an expectations from the world? It is because of that desire. It is the identity crisis, because I do not know who I am. That is why I have been desiring the things to be happy. I have been expecting. And my friends, see, this expectation starts since birth and it continues until the death. No, but where is the identity crisis in this? We are expecting from the world of people, place, time, money. again and again and again and again and again, expecting a different result. We are doing the same thing and expecting a different result. This is the mind. This is the non-thinker. This is the impulsive nature. This goes by the likes and dislikes. This goes by the pain and the sorrow. We are given an intellect. We don't think that I'm going to do the same thing again and again. I divorced one who is known as the woman. I found another person who is also a woman. So I'm doing the same thing again and again and searching peace and happiness. After all, in a woman, you can change the name and the form. What difference it makes? And I carry forward my journey of expectation. Then I land up in total frustration, depression, anxiety, duality, and anger. You have learned from one marriage, that is enough. Move forward. But I'm not ready. So then she also contacted me separately, and then she had all the tears in her eyes. This guy wants to learn where is the problem, and he skipped 2 lessons. I have been very busy. Busy for what? You are doing the same thing again and again, expecting a different result. That is why you are busy. That is why you don't have a time. Now see the other side. That woman started crying before me. I said, I'm not an eligible candidate. So calm down first. So if you are crying for the sake of meeting expectation, that is another problem. Yeah, that is another problem, because I'm not able to see the right situation. I'm also suffering from the identity crisis. You see the beauty of the Eastern wisdom. It puts everything on the logical. So you both are suffering from the identity crisis. I asked her that, first give me 3 benefits of your crying. Maybe 2. By crying, can you really find the peace? Can you really return to the same situation again? Can you take your steps back from divorce to the previous state of matters? No. Then why you are crying? What should I do? I said, you think. Find your real self. Find who you are. The one who loved that guy so much, and now the one who hates that guy so much. So there are 2 women in you. Who is that real? No, I'm just, now I'm divorced, so I'm crying, so this one is real. So who was that previous one? Previous women in you who said that I loved him so much? You told me a couple of times. That person died in you? No, that person is still there also. That is why you have a conflict. Both are fighting against each other. So what are you saying? I said, neither you are that person who loved so much that person, nor this woman who hated that person so much. You are beyond the both. You are the real self. You are the peace and happiness, love and bliss. You see the beauty of the Eastern wisdom says, no, you are none of them. Because you are moving from the one's false identity to the another false identity. I said, you might have got your share. Yes, I got my share, and I have bought a new house costing $500,000. Then she showed me the house. I said, oh, what a beautiful house. But in that beautiful house, the women who lives is frustrated. So are you making a joke? And I know I'm telling you the fact. In a rush, you felt as if after the divorce you'll have a beautiful life, you are still frustrated. This is what I'm pointing you out. Why? Because you have an identity crisis. You have to get rid of this identity crisis. So, what is this identity crisis? You have to find out first who you are. And second, you have to find out who is that desirer in you and what it is desiring. So, then you have to check anything that I desire for peace and happiness will not work in this world. You desire for physical survival, you eat organic food, that's good. You buy the clothes that you need it. You have bought a house that you need it. For physical survival, we have to depend on the world outside. But for psychological survival, you don't need to depend on anything. For psychological survival, emotional means, I should not have an emotional dependence. That is one way of psychological survival. So if I depend on you for happiness, so you have a remote for me. You push the remote, so I'm unhappy, and you trigger the remote, I'm happy. For peace, for my happiness, for love, and for wisdom, my friends, no way out. As long as you have an emotional dependence, this is what I say the psychological survival. If you depend for your psychological survival in others, the other person also feels, at least, I'm something important person. See, look at the person depends on me for my life. And that is ego. There is another identity crisis. So gradually I recognize that, that I do not need to have an emotional dependence for love and for peace and for happiness. Then the other guy is frustrated. And then the problem of divorce comes. Now you see that you feel you are independent, you don't take care of me. That is my ego. Ego also has a problem of identity crisis. See that. See the deeper level of the problem. And both the problems paralyzes the intellect. I'm not able to think properly and rightly. For the sake of material arrangement, our friends have made an arrangement. They divorced and they are living separately in the same. Because my intellect is paralyzed. If I'm living separately, why not living together? Removing that identity crisis and the confusion in my head. It is only the confusion in my head that pushes me to live separately. And it is the same confusion of emotional dependence which also forces me to live together. So in both the cases, Master says we live in ignorance. This is what the ignorance is. Ignorance means misconception, wrong understanding. So when we have a wrong understanding about who we are, about others, who they are, we have a confusion in relationship. And that results into an identity crisis, and we continue wandering in this world. Then we may find another person, we may find someone else, but finding someone else with the same understanding, with the same confusion, I create a multiple personality in me. And that is what the identity crisis is. And that is where the problem lies. Where the problem lies inside me, not outside. Otherwise, this world is so beautiful. Eyes are closed.